Well, welcome back, everybody. Slim Slam and the Bandwagon fan. NFL playoff action is on the horizon finally. But before we jump into the action, I'm Slim, he's Slam, and to my left, that is the Bandwagon fan. Back again as a threesome for the first time in a little while. And it's good to be back, Nazi.
Glad you know how to use it.
Thanks, mate. Boys, how are we?
Good. Getting filmed tonight. Feels good.
Yeah, back on the visual media.
I
Had to
love
wear
being,
clothes.
love being behind the camera.
Had to wear clothes this week.
Yeah, turning it up a little
And
bit.
last week ceremoniously took off the Dolphins jerseys.
Yep.
Yep.
This week ceremoniously putting them back on.
Putting them back on.
In memory of one lost coach,
Yes.
one of many
One
that we'll
lost
touch
Finn.
on over the course of the show tonight. So pre anything else, obviously the sponsors, the Jersey Cartel and JRV Electrical, thank you as always for your fantastic support of the show. And obviously moving into the playoffs here, it really does mean a lot to us as we put in a little bit of an extra effort as we push for the line here. Obviously the marquee matchups are still ahead of us. We'll quickly go through week 18.
Yeah, touch on the tips as well.
On the
Good
tips
segue
as
into
well.
week
Before we do
Yep.
that, Schnaz, brief little golf claps. Congrats to Blaze for being here this week. That's nice. Nice to
good.
have him back
Welcome
on board.
back.
Nice to have him on board.
Thanks,
Welcome
mate.
back.
It feels
No worries.
feels genuine. Feels really good to be back.
We've almost lost the red wine there.
In between you two, the old adage of a rose between two thorns seems
The tripod's
appropriate.
back.
Yeah, the tripod is back indeed. That holds the phone.
You
The
are
films.
the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, just where I want to be. The tips. where I
Get it
do-
down both ends.
well,
The tips.
the tips. So a big week of tips in the end.
I had an unassailable lead against Slammer.
He did. He was 3 clear going into the last week.
So you
and
tip the Lions, the Jags, and the Raiders.
yeah, and you come home and Slammer gets 12.
The old wet sail.
I've grabbed 10 in.
No, you've grabbed 9.
You've grabbed
I
nine.
grabbed 9 in controversial circumstances, and then Schnazi has also got 9. It takes us to 176, 176, 175. I am the outlier there in last place, but
Loser is the word.
yes. But, there's honourable losses, and going down by 1 in the last round of regular season tipping.
It's a good amount of good hit out there.
Good hit.
So the tiebreaker is going to be for those on 176
Yep.
will be postseason tipping.
Correct.
So stay tuned to see who wins out of Slammer and I.
You're going to sneak that in there. I
Yep.
could easily jump here. If I jag a couple interesting ones, towards the end of the show, obviously, we'll be giving our tips for the first round of playoffs here, the wild card round. So there is every chance I could get back into relevancy here heading into the divisional semis. Don't write me off just yet, Schnazzy.
Might have to check with the board on that
I've been
one.
pretty good.
272 games there were this year,
Yep.
by my calculations. So
Yep.
we've all gone just a tad over.
50s?
Yeah.
Well, well over 50s,
Well over
really.
50, yeah, about 60s.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Mid-60s?
How many games are there?
It's hard to say.
272?
272.
Quick math.
65%.
That's
there
not
you go.
bad.
I think I said
It's a good
mid-60s.
completion ratio.
Yeah, yes, sir. Very smooth
If
from
you're
you.
a QB1, you wouldn't be losing your job.
No, you'd be
All
very
right,
happy with
week
that.
18.
Week
Your boys.
18.
Your
Let's
boys.
you'll pick up on the vibe as we go through. Obviously, don't really need to lead in with that, but we're gonna kick through the games that have real relevance at a deeper level than obviously the ones that don't. So the Kansas City Chiefs did what they had to do against Denver. They went into Mile High and got the job done. Only thing to report here is a bit of crowd noise towards Jackson Mahomes. There's a bit of a back and forth there, which we love to see. Love to see you put the acid on him, metaphorically, not literally. Dallas then got the job done against
up.
Philly seconds.
Another thing to come from this game, Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio's gone, correct.
Gone.
He's
Gone.
the first of the 5.
He is the first of the 5 out the door.
And to be fair, his quarterbacks for the 3 years that he's had the job.
Yep.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep.
Drew Lock.
Yep.
And the one 3 years ago. Either way, not a gun.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So, Vic Fangio,
Oh, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
you did repurpose my joke in my absence, Slammer, about the best
Hard to say where that came from, really.
Italian head coach in the AFC West. Now there is only one. Vic Fangio has gone off to the realm of forever sleep.
Do you think the Raiders fella will get the job?
I think he's a chance.
Has
to.
Took him
If
to
he
the
doesn't
playoffs.
get their job, surely he gets a job somewhere else.
I think you'd
The
be
amount
mad.
they have had I would say probably the most off-field issues.
If you were to say adversity, that'd
Yeah.
be 100% correct. They've had just issues left, right, and centre.
I've had issues in the tissues.
Issues in the tissues, indeed. But yes,
Why do you reckon they
Vale.
replace an Italian with an Italian?
Go ahead and get in Fangio.
How many times do you reckon that happens in the NFL? This could be surely a first. An
Never.
Italian placing the Italian as a head coach.
Yeah, definitely would be. Also, I just did the quick sums. We averaged 11 tips a week.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's good hit rate.
Yeah.
That's a very good hit rate. So, speaking of hit, Vic Fangio got the tap on the back of the shoulder.
See you later.
He's gone. Philly trotted out the second stringers with their playoff
Some
berth.
thirds.
And thirds, indeed.
So Dallas won 51-26.
Yeah, really smoked them here.
Not a good game of football.
Not a good game of football. Dallas probably doing what they needed to do, find a bit of form heading into playoffs because they had been a bit shaky, especially on offense.
Dak Prescott absolutely stat padding too.
Stat padding,
Yeah.
which is what you've come to expect from him.
Huge stat pad. Just trying to win that comeback player of the year
Yeah.
over
yeah.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is, he'll be hard pressed to knock out Burrow. I think.
Jalen Hurts didn't play this week just because
Yeah.
they didn't want to risk the stadium full.
Why
of
would
them
you?
again.
Yeah.
So,
No,
And Philly had nothing to gain.
Yeah.
Re-
It was a lose. It was
Yeah.
a win-win for them not
They were,
playing
they were the
anyone.
7 seed anyway. They were still going to be the 7 seed, I think. I think
Yeah.
they could have got to the 6, but they needed New Orleans to win and San Francisco to lose, and that didn't happen.
And
So,
maybe they fancy Tampa Bay.
well, if you can give your players a week off and a rest, Blaze, especially with this season being a week longer, I don't mind it.
especially with a lot of running.
And
players
Tampa
too.
Bay are a bit knocked up.
There's an
Bit
air of vulnerability
knocked
at
up,
Tampa.
banged up.
Yeah. Yeah, not
They're
knocked
not
up.
pregnant.
Very good from you.
Not knocked out.
Pittsburgh here got the job done over Baltimore.
What a game!
Crazy game.
Genuinely that intense.
Not a great game.
No.
Not a great
Not a great
spectacle.
spectacle.
No.
Indeed.
Perfect way to put it. But what a game! It's just sitting there like just
Crazy
watching
game.
the last quarter and overtime as well.
Yeah.
Just
It
madness.
was a puzzler.
Huntley as well probably didn't do his personal stocks
Not
any
great.
damage.
No.
Wasn't great.
To be
but
fair, he's playing with duds a bit.
he is.
There's not a lot help out there for him there.
And probably the score in this game, 16 to Pittsburgh, 13 to Baltimore, tells a bit of the tale about the first three quarters.
Yeah.
If you turned it on in the fourth, happy days. If you watch the first three quarters, sorry, Davo.
If there's only one man in the entire matchup with the Chiefs coming up in the playoffs that can have any mild kind of
Impact.
smoky impact chance, it's obviously TJ Watt. And I
Yeah.
think the season he's
It
had
was only
is-
3 weeks ago, Blaze beat him 36-10.
Yeah. And so, he's going to have to play
And he
beyond
was
any levels.
he was a bit hobbled that game,
Yeah.
dealing with the ribs, but
special
26 points?
Yeah.
Probably not.
special player, no doubt. They did get
Tied
in the
the sack
playoffs.
record.
Yep.
Tied Michael Strahan's sack record there.
And only played 15 games, I believe, is
Yeah.
the number. So he had a sensational year when he was out there.
Probably just to touch on this as well to Pittsburgh. I know we touched on Mike Tomlin last week. Never had a losing season in 15 years. Neither has Big Ben. But they've made the playoffs. And at the start of the year, if you said that Pittsburgh were going to be better than Baltimore and Cleveland,
I had him with like 5 or 6
Dreaming.
wins.
Yep.
I had him with 5 or 6 wins.
and I reckon
That
after
actually-
week 4, we had completely written them off.
And Mike
That
Tomlin,
does lead into one of my stats that I've got, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, the last time Pittsburgh finished bottom of their division was 1988.
Shit.
it predates all of
That's
us.
friggin' insane. So, the Chiefs are the fifth team on that list. They haven't been bottom of their division since 2012. So, there's only five other teams that have not finished bottom of their division in the last 9 years.
And then in that period,
So the Patriots haven't been since 2000. And then the Packers and Saints are 05 and 08, Colts 11. Everybody else in the last 9 years. So the Steelers, massive outlier.
So Steelers fans would have a lot to cheer about there. And how many Super Bowls in that period?
Two.
Two.
Yeah.
I was thinking two. So
My-
Pittsburgh fans can't complain.
Well, I've got a lead in.
Well, before the Patriots, they were miles out on their own with 6 Super Bowl wins.
There's a little bit. I hate to rain on your parade a little bit here, but there's a bit of an asterisk on that because they play in a division with the Bengals and the Browns,
Yeah,
who have been
but the
historically
Bengals-
bad.
No, but the
for
Bengals
30
have been to the
years.
playoffs quite a few times late 2000s.
Yeah, but we're talking last in the division.
Yeah, we are talking last in their division.
So
yeah.
But albeit
But you've
credit
still got
where-
to not come last.
credit where credit's due. 1988, that's 6
players
years
in front
before
of
we even were a twinkle.
Yeah, so yeah, that's been 33 years since they've been. That's crazy.
That's
to
great
not have
cons-
one bad year, and that means as well, you didn't have a quarterback get horrifically injured and miss most of the year. And
Well,
come
they did last year.
'cause yeah,
and they
but
still managed.
not the whole year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Well,
Like,
they've managed to make the playoffs with Big Ben, so that's probably saying
how
as
they
much
made the
as you need to.
playoffs is beyond me.
With
And
the-
they had a 10% chance to make the playoffs going into week 18 on the weekend. There, Blaze.
They are the picture of consistency. The franchise itself, if not ever super fantastic and amazing, outside of maybe a couple of seasons there with Big Ben and the head case himself, Antonio Brown. But they're back again. They're going to roll into Arrowhead. They're going to have a tough assignment. But
Very tough assignment.
you got to be there.
It's almost a buy for Kansas City.
I was wrapped with the way that worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, There would be no one else.
The Chiefs had the option of playing the Chargers. The Raiders would have been ideal, but that was very hard to get that one. And so basically, the Chiefs worked out they could either play Indy, the Chargers, or Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I'm pretty happy with Pittsburgh.
Probably the best possible matchup. We will get into that in more depth once we get down there. Cincinnati in Cleveland there. Lost to Cleveland.
Nobody played their starters.
No real interest in that matchup.
It was a nothing game.
Detroit got the job done here against Green Bay in Aaron Rodgers.
Go the Lions.
They did. And
Build an MVP case, Schnars.
This for me, Aaron Rodgers went out there through 2 touchdowns. I still don't.
And then gave up because he wasn't good enough to beat the Lions. That's why I tipped him.
And that's why he won't win the MVP. No, not at all. He's gone out there and just put a few touchdowns up just to pad his stats a little bit. Walked out the game. Everyone else has walked out the game. And Detroit's just done what Detroit do.
Yep.
Win junk time games.
Win a relevant matchup.
The funniest part for me here was Detroit. If they had lost this game, they get the number 1 pick.
Yep.
Because Jacksonville decided they were going to beat Indy. So Detroit, if they lose to Green Bay, they get the number 1. They go, nah, stuff that. We're going to win as well. Crazy. Absolutely insane. So every team in the NFL won 3 games this year.
Do you want the number 1 pick or do you want to win when you can?
It's
a question.
With this draft,
win.
Between picking 1 and 2, who cares?
Probably doesn't hurt.
But, yeah,
it doesn't really make a difference.
It's not the difference between a quarterback and an edge rusher. It's the difference between 2 edge rushers.
Yeah. Who are both top tier and not really heaps to split them anyway.
And I think it's great for the Lions' culture and their locker room.
That's what I was alluding to, I think. And that's what Dan Campbell seems to have
I was going to say, Dan Campbell doesn't seem like the type of bloke that wants to ever tank.
No. Yeah. I thought he was a numpty at the start of the year, got to be honest. I thought he was just another terrible, terrible Detroit hire, what they do. He's changed my mind. He seems like he reckons it looks like he's got the locker room.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's...
They play for him, and he looks like he genuinely gives a shit about the Lions, which Patricia definitely didn't.
Yeah. He's the perfect head coach for Detroit.
Yeah, he's doing amazing.
Yep, absolutely.
So, just to reiterate, the score of that game was 37-30. So although they played the second stringers...
Oh, just my Lions in a shootout, baby.
Yeah, you love that. Jared Goff in a shootout. You don't love to hear that.
Jared Goff with a win without Sean McVay.
Yes.
Unreal.
You don't usually come out on the right side of it.
Get around him.
Tennessee at Houston here. Obviously, another match with
almost did it.
Very little.
They almost
relevance,
did it,
but they almost did it. They do finish up with the 1 seed.
28-25, I think the score was for that one.
In the
Interesting
AFC.
as well because it doesn't fill me with a lot of hope because they played pretty much everyone Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tannehill played.
Yeah.
And then
they're very lucky to have the week off.
Yeah.
Davis Mills and his squad of men.
Boys?
Yeah, boys.
Davis Mills is
Underclassmen?
out of any quarterback this year who was in a tough situation.
Oh, he had the toughest situation to go into.
He's probably
him
come out
and Trevor.
Yeah,
he's played well, but he hasn't had the spotlight on him.
No.
Which probably helps. Whereas Trevor has had the spotlight on him.
You don't think?
And speaking of Trevor, played bloody well on the weekend too.
Yeah, he did.
So Kane Abbott, stick that up, yeah.
Yep, cop that. You're not moving on from Davis Mills if you're Houston.
No way.
You spend your capital elsewhere, don't you?
Not when there's nothing out there to get.
Yeah.
Well, I think your first priority in the offseason is getting rid of Deshaun for whatever you can. And
they'll get something decent.
There's probably a bag of chips now.
You reckon?
Oh, not that light.
To be honest,
gets off,
maybe some hot chips.
I haven't been watching my E! News and TMZ.
I reckon you'll still get 2. I still reckon you'll get 2 firsts. Someone will take a punt.
Yeah, I reckon you get 2 firsts.
Someone will take a punt.
Anyway.
Someone who's borderline playoff contention but doesn't have the quarterback.
Yep.
Somebody will take that punt.
Or a big market team.
Yeah, or that.
I like Deshaun and Baker Mayfield swapping places and obviously a few more picks.
I like Baker Mayfield never playing in the NFL again.
He'll play. He'll play again.
Are you calling Baker Mayfield to back up Davis Mills next year?
I think Baker Mayfield could easily be the backup to Davis Mills. Yeah, for where he's at.
I think
if not the starter.
I think the money's
on
I think you're right on the money with the fact that he's going to get a backup job somewhere. I don't think he'll be a starter.
No.
Well, I think he could battle.
I've tried to end his career that many times, but I'm going to try.
He could battle for Davis Mills for that spot.
Yeah, but Davis Mills could get better. You know what Baker Mayfield is.
What if I pose to you? I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole, but Baker Mayfield plus, let's say, one of those fantastic linemen they've got.
Yeah, Joel Bitonio, let's say,
and a second for Deshaun Watson.
No, I think Houston want more. Baker's not worth first.
But what are you talking about with the market value? You've just talked down
I think
Deshaun Watson's
the market value. I don't think the market value will be bad. I wouldn't take that if I was
Houston.
If you want 2 firsts, you're not taking that.
I don't think Houston would want players. Houston need everybody to be young as fuck because their team is just trashy.
Danny picks.
They just need to bulk picks, try and hit on picks.
Yeah, because they've got
and
such a
build
good
this team
history.
from the ground up.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that
picked
kind of
Deshaun
franchise.
Watson.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
they
not
picked
that kind of
Deshaun Watson.
franchise though, but they've got no players at all.
Yeah, fucking ecstatic.
They've got no players at all,
Yeah,
like anywhere. So I don't think they
Like
want
getting
experienced people.
mature age players is not going to help them.
Nah.
I think there's always room for at least one or two mature heads
but
in
like
a young locker room.
Yeah, but one offensive lineman's not going to make them that much any better.
I'm not talking about
Oh,
necessarily
you're not
one.
talking about making them better. You're just saying making them.
I'm talking about building a
Okay,
culture where you
yeah.
can actually have a chance of being
I think
relevant.
I think building a culture in Houston is almost mission impossible.
Yeah, well, potentially
They
Bill
are
O'Brien.
so broken.
Bill O'Brien sucked the back end out of them, and they've
Yeah.
never really been able to recover from
And
that.
Bill O'Brien's now at Alabama, and look at them
And did
not
them
winning
dirty.
national championships.
Yeah.
So
He's the OC there, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's been floating around for a couple of these vacant jobs as well, apparently.
Yucky. Don't do it.
Jacksonville will
Don't
link to
do
Bill
it.
O'Brien.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Jacksonville. Brian Flores currently lives in Florida. You are in Florida. Throw the kitchen sink at him.
It's a great move.
And then get an offensive coordinator to deal with Trevor. Let Brian take the defense. Get an offensive guy for Trevor. On offensive coordinator.
And on that, I don't mind that because they've actually got a
It just
few
came to
good
me. It wasn't even
defensive.
pre-planned.
They've got a few good defensive pieces there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their defense is a lot better than their offense.
Jack
And he
comes
can
to mind straight away.
make those players better.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
They've got about three legit good
And do you
players on the
reckon,
defensive
do you
side
reckon
of the ball.
Brian Flores will be happy with Trevor Lawrence over Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, hell yeah.
So, Jacksonville did get the job done against Indy. If that appetizes Brian Flores, you get one free win a year. When the Colts come to town, you get to cash that win.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Indianapolis just lost himself a playoff spot.
Absolute schmozzle.
Horrendous.
Absolute
Lose to the
schmozzle.
Raiders, then the Jags. That is a joke. That's arguably the worst loss of the season. It's probably not that arguable. It is the worst loss of any team
Green
this
Bay
season.
in week 1 getting shut out.
No, but in terms of
Situationally.
what it meant,
Yeah.
that's horrendous. And that might be the worst loss in the history of their franchise.
Well, Carson Wentz.
2 weeks ago, before they started losing to the Raiders and the Jags, we were talking about them being like potentially
smoky.
the most dangerous team in the
Yeah.
AFC.
Yeah.
You didn't make the effing playoffs.
Yeah.
New England did. Pittsburgh did. The Raiders did.
Are you surprised that it took the NFL that long to work out? Stop Jonathan Taylor and make Carson Wentz beat you. He won't beat you.
Yeah, he won't beat you.
Well, the Jags worked it out.
Like we
so-
mentioned about the Philadelphia off-air, that trade with Carson Wentz, that
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia's sitting pretty... Now Colts are almost at the, back at the, what's the phrase
board?
I'm looking for? Yeah, they're going on the drawing board. Because do you go back to the well with Carson Wentz again next year?
They don't have a choice.
They
They
don't
have
have a choice.
to.
They got too
I know,
much.
but like...
What was the years? Was it 3?
I can't remember, but like, you've
They're
obviously
paying him.
got...
They're paying him plenty because they're paying him what Philly were paying him, aren't
It was 100 million,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
they?
confident.
Yeah.
So,
And you gave up picks, so you can't afford not to.
yeah, rocking a hard place.
As well-
Tom.
They need him to get
They
better.
need him to get better. Yeah,
They
correct.
just need him to get better.
But if he's got a mental deficiency, because without, I'm not bagging him like in terms
But
of
why
mental illness.
why
but he's
can't
got
he get
issues.
back to that year before he got hurt, where he was like
That's
on
That's what I'm
on
saying.
track to win the MVP?
Is it a mental deficiency in terms of his knee? Is it a mental deficiency in terms of what happened in Philly that he doesn't feel like he's good enough anymore?
I don't know.
'Cause he looks like a shadow.
It's
like, not
very
even a
hard.
shadow.
It's very hard to say, but yeah, it doesn't look like him.
personally, I think he'll take
Colts-
he'll take confidence out of this year. He pretty much got through most of the year unscathed.
Honestly,
He did that
if it
the
wasn't
2
for the
years.
last
In terms
two,
of
if it
injury-
wasn't for the last 2 weeks, we'd be singing his praises.
Yeah.
No,
Did what he had to, did what he had to do to get them to the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything of actual relevance. He's not
I
doing
know,
anything that's
but
going to
two
get you
games-
anywhere in the
But
playoffs.
2 games have made this look a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, spot on.
I think Jonathan Taylor made him look a lot better than he ever was.
Yes,
He's very
I
rarely
agree
throwing
with
for
that.
more than 175 yards.
I
there.
agree for that, but a little bit more confidence that he got through a whole year without getting hurt again.
Okay, yeah, I can
Maybe
do
he
that.
plays better next year. If he's no good next year, then yeah, they'll cut him.
Yeah.
Because there'll be a year to go.
They'll
And
cut his
just-
losses,
They'll just
yeah.
bite the bullet.
Yeah.
So really, he's got a year to make it.
Yeah, I think
he's done.
I feel like we've been saying that about
And if-
Carson Wentz for 3 years.
But if
so.
Frank, I really thought this was going to be the year. Go back with Frank Reich, who was the offensive coordinator in Philly when he was flying. I really thought this was going to make it click.
Yep.
So far, I haven't seen it.
Maybe you need the continuity. I don't know.
I think the continuity in the season.
The other thing that doesn't
will
help,
him.
they don't have great wide receivers. There's
I
not
don't know.
a heap there. T.Y. Hilton's really old.
Michael Pittman is decent.
Michael Pittman's
He's their only
decent,
receiver
but like
they've got.
after that, We're not playing with a lot.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You go out and get a weapon if you've got
But
Carson
the problem is they don't have a first round pick because it's going to Philly.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So they're going to be taking what?
But
If we're talking mid-second round, they're going to be taking what, the 8th best wide receiver?
I think
If
we've
they've got any
got to
sense.
wrap up on Indianapolis. But I think the thing with Carson
We're already
Wentz is
taking too long.
the team is designed to be a running team. There's not a lot of weapons for him to use.
No,
as
and
a
their
quarterback.
strength is their offensive line. So
Yeah.
they're going to run the ball majority of the
course
time.
they are,
Yeah.
And that makes him his numbers look a little bit
But
worse.
when
You've got to remember that.
his numbers called, he needs to do a hell of a lot better job than what he did in the weekend.
Less turnovers in the red
That's what it
zone. Moving on.
Yeah.
Chicago and Minnesota.
Coach
Battle of the
Ki-
coaches both cut.
Both
Coach
gone.
killer.
Minnesota
Gone.
won.
Definition of a coach killer.
Coach killing
I
game.
pose you this one. We know Nagy's never getting a chance again. as a
I'd
head
take him
coach.
back as offensive
It wasn't
coordinator.
just a coach killing weekend. It was a general manager killing weekend. Both these teams part with their GMs
Ryan Pace, yeah,
as
he's
well.
a muppet.
Minnesota moved on from theirs as well.
So-
Yeah,
Mike Zimmer,
True.
as a head coach, 72 wins, 56 losses.
yeah.
As a head coach.
He's a defensive head coach.
That's-
He's a dying breed in my mind.
It's not a bad record. Do you think he gets a shot somewhere else?
Oh, he'll be a defensive coordinator somewhere.
DC
But do you think
somewhere.
he gets
A head coach?
coaching
No.
role somewhere?
He'll be,
Well, there's lots of
he'll be a
options.
defensive coach somewhere. DC somewhere.
He's an experienced coach with the winning
Brian
record.
Flores, like
What about Matt Nagy?
if Brian
Back in an
Flores,
OC role somewhere.
he'll get an OC role somewhere. If Brian Flores,
After the Bears' offense in the last 3 years?
I think without the
well,
pressure
with
of
who
the
you had with
holistic-
Trubisky, yeah, before that he was running Mahomes. He was looking
Yeah.
pretty bloody good. Yeah. If Brian Flores would take a defensive coordinator job, there'd be 32 teams that would offer
Yeah.
him a defensive
Oh,
coordinator job.
absolutely.
But-
But I think we're not going back to Miami, but
No.
his culture building is massive, and I think it was severely underrated what he did in Miami.
I think both of those coaches will probably get coordinator jobs, but they won't get a head coaching job.
Yeah,
Cool.
writing on the wall.
Washington beat the Giants.
Yeah,
Move on.
move on.
Other than the fact that
Joe Judge.
Mate got done.
He's gonna
They
have to
said he
pass
was
his
going to,
head.
and it looked like he was going to survive.
Yeah,
They-
There's reports
thought him
yesterday
and
that
Jones.
he was going to survive.
Jones and Judge to survive.
Yeah.
Judge goes. Could Jones be gone too?
Jones is gone by
Now that's-
the end
that's
of next
two-
year if this is no good.
That's
again.
2 head coaches in 3 years.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on in New York. New York potentially a team that could go after Deshaun Watson.
I reckon Jason Garrett slides up.
No. The team that he's already given
Yeah, I
5.
know.
Yeah. The Giants have to throw. The kitchen sink isn't actually enough in this analogy,
Yeah.
but they have to throw everything they've got to get Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't, Deshaun Watson, because
Yeah.
they're going to have picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson makes so much sense.
Russell Wilson
on-
makes a hell of a lot of
on
sense.
so many levels
So
in terms
much
of
sense.
market, wife, everything.
And yeah, wife.
Only
Wife's the big
issue
one.
with that is, right, is Russell Wilson going to want to sign there in the twilight of his career?
What's he? Mid 30s, 36.
You got a young receiving core in the
Fine.
Giants.
Do you? None of them played well, though.
No, but you,
it wasn't that long
How
ago.
easy is it to play with Daniel Jones?
It wasn't that long ago. You were talking up a top 10 offense
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And since then, what have any of them done?
Yeah.
Not much.
Saquon needs to stay healthy.
I'd say
Saquon's done.
Kadarius Toney.
done.
Kadarius
Like, what, 2
Toney.
years?
Huh?
Yeah,
He was
done.
shocking this year. He was shocking.
He's not done.
He's not done.
He's
That's
shocking.
tough.
His days are done.
Play action off Russell Wilson.
Sterling Shepard.
Tony looks alright.
Last 2 years he
Tony's
struggled. Tony was okay. Golladay
Shot.
did nothing.
Yeah.
he's
Injured
shot,
pretty much
but-
all year.
Did they have
but
Evan Ingram too?
Yeah.
Evan Ingram's there.
Didn't do a lot either.
Who else?
Darius. No.
Darius Slayton is a smoky.
Slayton,
He's
I like
alright.
Darius Slayton. I like
Didn't
Darius
do a
Slayton.
lot this year though.
No, but once again,
you don't-
they're getting balls thrown to them from Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
Don't do so much.
We're talking about a team on the weekend that had 3rd and 8 from their own 5-yard line and went quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarterback sneak on 3rd and
I-
8 from their own 4.
Yeah, I 100%.
That's how much confidence they've got in Daniel Jones.
No, but
That's it's the worst play call I've seen in the history of the NFL. From their own 4. 3rd and 8, quarterback sneak.
I don't think they got a yard, did they?
No. Like that
got
just
blown
shows you. That just shows you the confidence they've got in Daniel Jones. Like, that's a joke.
And Joe Judge's play
Alright.
calling.
Like,
who's
that's
now
a
gone.
joke.
Yeah.
All right, enough.
Like, what's the like?
Enough. The point I'm making here is, does Russell Wilson want to go to the Giants? They
Nah,
have
but
not a lot
but
of
his wife,
defense.
his wife will be in his ear.
Yeah, but dude, in a twilight of his career.
But where are his options?
How good do you look if you're Russell Wilson and you take them in a very, very weak NFC East?
But
to-
getting better.
Getting better, but take
But
them.
he
Dallas
could
and
make
Philly.
them better.
Take them.
I think with Russell Wilson, they still don't beat Dallas.
Yeah, but think about what we were saying about.
They-
Well, what were we saying about
They're
Philly?
they
What were
will
we
be a
saying
red
about-
hot chance.
This is just a huge argument. I love it. What we were saying
Dallas
about Philly
improved.
at the start of this year, they were going to win 1 game, and
Yeah.
now the Giants are this bad. But with Russell Wilson, potentially they flip the script as well. They could win like 8 games,
But
9
would you
games.
have more
Who knows?
confidence going into the season? I would have more confidence in Dallas and Washington.
It would not be an easy
Than,
sell to
and
me.
Washington,
Yeah.
with Heineken. Well,
No.
I think it would just make this whole division very
interesting.
competitive.
It would, but I
think he's a shot, and then I think also they'll have draft picks and they'll have cap room. So if you get Russell Wilson,
You bring people.
you might be able to bring some other people in. You're also, I think, they got 2 draft picks in the top 14.
Also looking for a new,
like 4 and 7. Like
Yeah.
2 really high ones.
So,
also looking for a new head coach as well. So they've got no culture
Yeah.
as well, which takes time to build.
but I think like of his options, there's not a heap of options, and I don't think Ciara's going to go. Yeah, let's move to Denver. Yeah, let's move to Cleveland. Like, no, she ain't doing that. You get out of the Pacific
It's a big
North.
market team.
It's a big. That's the only thing it's got going for it.
That's 100%. It's the only thing the Giants have had going for them for 25 years.
Yeah.
They did win a Super Bowl in there with the
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
under
one
Eli.
of the- one of the-
To
one of the-
backtrack a little
Yeah,
bit.
but 2 that they probably they come from the 6th seed and they didn't deserve either of them. Like they
Super
got
Bowl's
them.
a Super Bowl.
I know, but
You
like
can't write
really,
it off.
how much have they had going for them in 25
Super Bowl's a
years?
Super Bowl.
Anyway, I can't believe how long we talk about the fucking Giants. That was
I
one of the
know.
ones we were going to
Which
write
they were
off.
light through.
New Orleans and Atlanta we can write off. This was nothing.
Just quickly go.
New York Jets got butt rushed by the Buffalo Bills as expected.
That's enough.
Now we get to the New England Miami matchup.
Probably don't even need
Rest
to
in
talk about
peace,
this game that
Brian.
much.
Well,
So-
Miami
feel like
won
we've covered it.
and Brian Flores went.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
it's
you go.
bizarre.
And New England
He's beaten Bill Belichick 4 out of 6 games he's played against them.
Yeah.
He'd won 8 of his last 9 games or something, and he gets the sack. It's peak Miami.
It's front office political.
Yeah.
It's
political in
political
nature.
as.
It's a sense of there's 2 things which I was aware of. One, Slammer brought up the other one. The one I had is he didn't want to bar off Deshaun Watson or anything like that. Where the front office,
Which I don't blame that.
The other one that you brought up was that he wanted.
He was trying to
Herbert
argue for Herbert. Yeah.
over Tua. So there's obviously a huge fallout in the front office here.
Well, Tua was the owner's guy. The owner wanted Tua. He was the Alabama product. He thought Tua was
Yeah.
going to be all that in a bar of soap. And he
Hasn't worked.
Was that the owner or the GM?
is the owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Flores has got dumped, not because he's a bad coach, but
Political.
because of
Oh,
differences.
as you said.
it's a terrible goal. If you need to make a decision between GM and coach, the coach is Brian Flores. Sack the GM.
Yeah.
Obviously, the owner and the GM are very tight.
What I'm telling you
happen.
is it was an owner situation. It's owner disagreement. The owner wanted the same levels of control, a la probably something in the realm of Jerry Jones, and Brian Flores wasn't going for it.
Perfect. Last thing on the other hand for Flores, well done for getting out of a shit situation.
Absolutely, dude.
He's going to
Absolutely.
have the pick of pretty much all the 5 jobs.
Any job he wants.
Well,
I don't think-
other than Miami.
Yeah.
There's
So
gotta
the other
be-
4.
We're going to lose another coach.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to stop at 5.
I think I really liked where your head was at earlier, Chucky, and I don't often say that out loud.
They'd have to be.
Jacksonville is.
They'd have to be insane.
Yeah,
not
that's
to.
a red
Like,
hot.
He might not even have to relocate
And if you're talking about the
for a while.
Can you
know?
imagine
Like,
an
it's not
urban-
it's not as awkward.
an urban Meyer
2 hours
culture
down the road.
into a Brian Flores
Oh,
culture, you can imagine the difference.
You're not
in
going to
that.
catch Brian Flores at a club.
No.
Fill it up.
No, it's just not going to
With his
happen.
hand in someone's skirt.
And like when you can say, "Oh, you already live in Florida," like they've got the inside track.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And they'd be mad not to. But
Apparently, I think he interviewed already for the Chicago job.
yes, that is the man.
Which, like, if you were Chicago, you'd be wrapped because they love defense.
Yeah.
And you've got.
Oh, they've
Fields
got
at
pieces
quarterback.
for him. Yeah, for sure.
I like that Mooney fella at the wide receiver there.
Yeah. Tampa Tom did what we expected him to do.
Nothing game, boring as.
Broke the completion record, but no one really cared.
Went over 5,000 yards for the second time in his career.
Yep.
Probably didn't do enough to win the MVP, though.
Nah, no
No,
MVP.
definitely not. Arizona at Seattle.
I'll tell you what, Jonathan Taylor definitely didn't.
Nah.
Yeah. Trying to shut the bet on that one.
Yeah.
Arizona will play playoff football. That Seattle matchup.
Won't. Seattle won.
Big
Arizona are really limping in, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Lost 3 of the last 4.
They are.
Limping.
Crawling in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
knees.
Yeah, it's
hands and
bad.
knees
It's
stuff.
bad.
Se-
I did hear through the dark web.
But they're tanking.
What you?
JJ Watt should play.
Yes.
Should play week 1 of the playoffs.
I'm not sure that was dark web. That was clean web.
That was just
That was open web.
I don't know how to
above board.
I don't know how to access the dark web.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now you backtrack.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll be buying kidneys in my spare time.
there's a lot. No.
Nah.
There's more. In terms of the complete inverse of crawling into the playoffs, San Francisco
Fran.
have come hot at the right time. They
They
got
have.
the job done against the Rams. Jimmy G probably surprised a few, but it's my
Does
boy.
Jimmy G keep his job?
I
Debo
said
Samuel
this.
could play quarterback in that scheme.
Yeah, it's true.
I did say this earlier in the season when they were
It's
still
gotten-
struggling. I
it's-
said if they make
it's
it
actually
into the
got merit.
playoffs and
It's
they win
actually
a
got
game or
merit.
two,
Yeah.
I thought you were insane when you said it, but it's actually got merit.
It's-
But I still don't think they will.
The conversation always comes back to: are you going to be? Can you get someone better? Can you get an upgrade into San Fran?
I think they already think Trey Lance is better,
Yeah.
and that's why you draft Trey Lance at 3.
it's the only thing
Because
that's
you
hard.
can't keep him on.
I know.
You can't keep a quarterback you took
But
at
have you
3 on the bench for a second year. in a
Have you
row.
got to pay Jimmy G again next year? If he's
no.
already
Nah, he came
contracted,
on a 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah.
if you're recontracting him, then no. But if he's already under contract, you could easily keep him and run him as a.
But
as
I
insurance.
don't think you can
I think the big
I don't
thing,
think you can hold back the fans and the media.
You've got
with
to-
a guy you took a pick
No,
3
No.
for a second
I'm
year.
not suggesting that you don't play Trey Lance. I'm suggesting
Oh,
if
what
you've
is
already got him on the books,
Well,
you
you
can
keep
keep
him
him
as
as
a
a backup in case Trey Lance doesn't eventuate in the first 4 rounds.
Nah, see, I don't reckon that would. I don't see. I feel like somebody else would offer something for Jimmy G, and you just have to give him
Then you
up.
take it.
Can
Yeah,
I
yeah,
add
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Can I add this? You're a GM. You win, say, 2 playoff games with Jimmy G as your quarterback this year. Next year, you start Trey Lance. You don't make the playoffs.
Yep.
Your job's gone.
Yeah, that's a big risk.
Your job's gone.
I
No,
don't know
your
if
job
your
is gone.
job's gone.
Nah, because they're a team.
Well,
that's
you
like
got
John Lynch.
You're going backwards while... No, we're not.
no, but I'm saying
GM is John
No,
Lynch.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm saying the typical GM role.
Okay,
He's going to make
but
a decision.
In this
of the-
situation, there's no way John Lynch is gone.
Yeah, I get that. All right.
But it's a metaphorical
It's
kind
a-
of conversation. It
spot
doesn't
on.
look
Yeah, but in the
bad.
same aspect, it's not because it's John Lynch.
But it doesn't look smart,
In
does it?
terms
But
of-
and
no,
that's-
it doesn't look smart.
But he's a great.
there's
He's a
gonna-
great GM as well. So would he bounce from a
But-
2-win playoff team to a fresh quarterback who they think he's going to
But
be
potentially,
good? It's an
potentially
absolute
Trey
killer.
Lance.
You're gambling on a maybe.
But
like,
it's a killer.
And
Trey
you don't
Lance
need
is-
to. And you
Trey
don't
Because
Lance-
the
need to.
fans want it. When
Trey
the-
Lance is potentially Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
He's also
Because
poten-
nobody knew Patrick Mahomes was going to be Patrick Mahomes, but nobody knows Trey Lance isn't going to be that good. Like, he sat for a whole year. You learn a hell of a lot sitting for the whole
That's
year.
exactly what I was just saying before. You play him the first 4 rounds, and then if it's not working out, you get Jimmy G back in.
Yeah, see, I just don't think.
If he's still there.
I think if they make the decision in the offseason that Trey Lance is number 1,
You gotta get rid of
offers
Jimmy G.
will come in. Offers will come flying in.
You can't
and they'll
keep both.
take something.
If he's under contract, you don't have to trade him.
No, I know, but I think it would cause too many headaches within the coaching
Yeah.
panel
I think the
of
media.
like what they were going to do, because then you end up with that potential situation of like flipping back and forth, and then it looks like you don't have confidence in either guy.
You're making a fair few assumptions on Jimmy G, just not being like.
I just
not being
feel
able
like
to put up with that. How do we know Jimmy
no,
G
it's not
wouldn't?
about him. I
Jimmy
just
G
think-
wouldn't be keen to stick
no,
around.
No, I'm not
no,
saying
it's
him.
not
I'm
him,
saying
it's
I'm
the
saying the
media.
offers will come in, and the offers will be so good that the Niners won't be able to turn it down.
Are they going to be the offers that good for Jimmy G?
Denver,
Nah. If Jimmy G can't get him through to the Super Bowl again,
yeah.
that doesn't mean the offers are then going to be astronomically better just because he's a
No,
backup.
but I'm saying on what he said before, if they won 2 playoff games,
Yeah.
if they got to the NFC title game and then lost out to maybe like Tampa or Green Bay,
If you win 2 playoff games, you're not fucking starting Trey Lance over Jimmy G.
I still think they would.
That's exactly.
You're just not.
You've got 2 things here. One, if you're going to go with
I think Trey Lance is starting
No,
next
no,
year
no, no, no.
regardless.
Hold up. If
Unless
you
they
go,
win the Super Bowl.
if you go with Trey Lance, you have to get rid of Jimmy G.
Yeah.
You can't have him sitting in the background as a distraction.
Yeah, 100%.
But 2,
No, you can though. If Jimmy G wants to be a mentor,
No, I don't think that.
How-
I
how
don't
do you-
think, I don't
No,
think
no,
there's
no,
any
it happens
situation the way that
happens
happens.
all the time with the
Yeah.
media. The
Doesn't-
media sit there and spin it, and
yeah,
then
the
it actually
media
impacts
do.
them.
The San Francisco don't strike
And
me
when
as a team that cares.
has an NFL team never ever reacted to the media? Urban Meyer lost his job because of the fucking media.
Yeah, but that's because Urban Meyer had his fingers in some chick skirt in a nightclub. It's not because Jimmy G could come out and say, "Hey, look,
Nah.
Trey
I'm
Lance
not-
is a young quarterback and he's on the up and up, and I want to help him."
players.
I'm not buying.
I don't think if they say Trey Lance, I don't think there's any way they're both.
It's
there
one or
next
the other.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Trey Lance will be their starter next year unless they win the Super Bowl this year, and I think that Jimmy G will have a job somewhere else.
If they win 2 playoff games, there's no way they move on from Jimmy G.
I
and
think
put Trey
unless
Lance
they
up.
win the Super Bowl,
Spot on.
they'll move on.
That's
If
my
they
point.
lose this week, Trey Lance is a starter. All questions gone. No one wants Jimmy G.
All right. Anyway, they beat the Rams the last game.
Well,
They
this
beat
was-
the Rams in overtime.
This was obviously the the marquee playoff preview.
Like the
Oh.
Vegas and the Chargers.
Oh, in terms of all the connotations that were going on with this
You're
game,
bloody right, Blaze.
from as soon as it
He
started.
won me a tipping comp.
Yeah, well, from a lot
Won?
of different.
We drew.
Yeah, from a lot of avenues,
And we both won.
a lot of different
Whatever,
avenues.
sleep at night.
A lot of different ways that this result could have gone. We were even talking tie towards the end, but that wasn't us talking about it. That was people that have no clue that
No
a
clue.
divisional rival is never going to just go for a tie with their divisional
Irrelevant
rival.
of that, Blaze. The Raiders knew that if they tied, they're going to Kansas City to play Kansas City next weekend, who they've been outscored by in the 2 games they've played them this year, 86-23.
Which defeats all
There's
purpose.
no effing way they didn't, 1, know that,
Yeah.
and 2, think about it when there was 5 minutes to go in overtime and all we needed to do was kick a field goal to win.
And prepare yourself.
Not a
for them
hard decision.
to play a very green Cincinnati Bengals
Yeah.
team.
Who would
that-
you rather play? Cincy, who basically none of their players have had a postseason game ever.
No experience.
Or
Yep.
go and play Kansas City, who've been to the last 2 Super Bowls and repeatedly whoop the hell out of you.
Well, if you're talking
Not a hard decision.
1991 was the last time Cincinnati won a playoff game.
Yes,
and
no one sent a text.
no one had sent a text, and not only that, quarterback, probably wide receiver 1, Jamar Chase. I doubt even Joe Mixon was born in 1991. So
he's 26, so no.
No, it's pre-us. So yeah, you'd have to be 30.
Yeah.
So, it's...
You'd have to be old.
yeah, which is... That analogy just really burnt a little bit as I said it. I didn't realise.
Old, yeah.
Yeah.
The SMS thing's weird as well.
Keep going.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing a playoff special, man. We're all good. Sunday wildcard matchup here. What we were just talking about there, Las Vegas and Cincinnati Bengals. It's 3 Bengals from the boys in the booth. LV, the Las Vegas Raiders, obviously just sneaking in there with that win over the Chargers. Young Bengals get it done here. Turn the clock back to 1991. Congratulations. Next matchup, interesting.
That thing there as well, Blaze. They've had home playoff games in that time. Like they've played in plenty of playoff games.
Yeah,
they just cannot get it done.
Win. But they should this week.
Is a different. This isn't your dad's Bengals. This isn't your
daddy's Bengals. No
defensive mindset. This is young gunslinger. It reminds me. It's young Chiefs.
Yeah,
it feels like 3 years ago Chiefs.
Yeah, it does feel young Chiefsy.
If you were Cincinnati, I feel like you'd be very, very happy. You feel like you're about to run that division for probably the next 8 to 10 years.
Definitely. Unless Aaron Rodgers
I like where they're at.
Buffalo host New England in the next matchup.
You're an outlier.
I'm an outlier in New England.
I think this one.
Have
the floor.
I've heard a little bit about the weather forecast. I think I harken my mind back to obviously that.
Wow, that's really my demographic.
Weather. You're more geography.
Yeah, it's fair, but also weather.
Weather comes with geography.
Yeah, they're kind of linked, but not exclusively. Obviously, that terrible weather that they played in a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, Kurt Warner will be furious that this isn't in a dome.
Yeah. So I'm just backing the physicality and the aggressive running game of the New England Patriots over a Buffalo Bills team who have made it, but aren't
on
going
the counter of
guns.
that, Blaze.
Have they won a
Have
game
Buffalo
since that win?
found their running?
they've been light
have
on.
Buffalo found their running game in the last 3 weeks?
Well, they've
A little bit.
Devin Singletary's playing probably
A
above
little
his man.
bit.
He's a bit light on in the back end to be playing the New England Patriots,
Their run defense.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I
And
think the AFC games this weekend are a hell of a lot easier to tip than
you
the NFC games.
got the best coach in the history of the NFL in a playoff game here, scheming up.
Yeah,
They've seen Buffalo plenty of times, obviously, the last
they
couple
have.
of years.
But what have they won? One of the last 5 against them.
I just think if the conditions bring it back
And
towards an
in
even
that
kind of
game,
contest.
Mac Jones threw 3 times.
Yeah.
Look, all right.
If the
Ask me this.
conditions- if
Let me
conditions
ask
remain
you
close.
this: is the only way they can win this game if Mac Jones throws less than 15 times?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
If it goes into a gunslinging shoot-off, Josh Allen's got that.
I don't
course he
think they
does.
can compete.
Of course he does
I don't
head to
think
head.
they can compete if you're asking Mac Jones to do it. I think
you
the
cannot.
only way the way that you're saying they're going to win is
The running game.
Scheme.
it has to run
No, I'm
and
saying
it has
scheme.
to be but what you said before as well was the weather.
Weather.
You need the weather to not
So
be
if you're
good
gonna
and
have
Josh
snow,
Allen not to be able to throw the ball that
No,
well.
I need the weather to be an equaliser in some respects. It doesn't need to necessarily
Yeah.
negate the passing game.
But
If it doesn't negate the passing game, then I don't think they can win.
I think you're a chance.
Well, that's fair enough. But I mean, you did lose the 2 in comp, so what do you know?
Lost by 1 tip, Jimmy.
And that's a loss. So me and Shannar's going to take Buffalo there. I think the thing is Buffalo at home. Yes, New England beat them there this year, but they played in basically a blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And then they
I
played
think
2 weeks
Buffalo,
later. And
2 weeks
Buffalo
later
comfortably
in
handled
New
them.
England
Yeah.
as well. They comfortably handled them. I think if Buffalo don't win this, there needs to start being some serious questions asked about Buffalo.
Massively.
On.
It'd be a massively disappointing season.
There'd be 3 seasons in a row where
It'd be a
they
tumultuous
lost.
off-season potentially.
They've won one playoff game in 3 years if they win that. If they don't win on the weekend,
Yep.
The only Blaze just onto New England. The only thing I don't like about them, and I understand your tip,
Yeah.
they've lost to in the last 5 weeks. They've lost to Miami, Buffalo, and also
Colts.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
yeah,
They've at the midpoint.
they're not
of the
as hot as they
season,
were in
They
round
were
11.
sitting
Oh,
top of the
100%.
division, weren't they?
Yeah, they were like 3 games ahead of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Buffalo-
they should be playing this game at
They're
home.
just not trending the right way at the right time of year.
Yeah.
I understand that. I don't necessarily think that Buffalo
not
are
an
going along
outrageous tip.
great guns either.
No.
I think this is probably a 65-35 kind of split up the
Yeah.
middle. With Buffalo
70-30
obviously being at
split.
home and with playoff pedigree.
70-30 up the middle. Great.
I think I said 65-35, which
Yeah.
is closer to the
I
middle.
said 70-30.
It's closer to the middle.
Oh.
This one,
49-51.
I'm probably more out on a limb here than I was in the
No,
previous
see, I actually
one.
like this one of yours better than
Yeah,
that
me
one.
too.
Interesting.
Me
Okay,
too.
so obviously Tampa Bay.
I'm not sold on this at all.
Yeah, we're hopping across the NFC now. Tampa Bay will host Philadelphia
In the early slate Monday
in
morning.
the early slate Monday morning. Tampa Bay obviously have had their
Issues.
What would you call it? Yeah, issues is probably a good word
Injuries,
for it. Media
Off-season
attention
issue,
grabbing.
off-field
You know,
issues.
all those kind of headlines have been going on. Obviously, Chris Godwin, I think, I'm not going to really talk about AB, but Chris Godwin with his ACL is massive.
Yeah. So with no AB,
Yep.
no Chris Godwin.
They're light on.
Mike
receiver.
Evans-
Was Mike Evans and Scotty Miller?
Mike Evans has been on snap count too with the
Who's
hamstring.
seriously? Who's honestly their second? Is it Scotty Miller?
It'd
Yeah.
be Scotty Miller.
Cameron, and then all three tight ends: Cameron Brayton, OJ Howard,
There's
and
another receiver.
and Gronk.
Is it Johnson or something like that? Have a look for me,
No
Schnazi.
idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Philly, after having a
Philly's
rest,
run game is it's intimidating.
and they had a rest against Dallas, they
And they're
can
the-
run read option
They're
with
the
Jalen
best
Hurts.
rushing team in the league, and it took them like 7 weeks to work out to run the ball.
Yeah, there is a factor here though.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's run defense is very good.
Tampa Bay's run defense is very
It's the
good. They
best in the
re-signed.
comp.
They re-signed Vita Vea
Yep.
to like a 4-year, $60 million
Vita Vea's-
deal.
So if
Unreal.
they
He's
can
unreal.
stop the run, don't get me wrong. I think if they can stop the run effectively, I think
the
they
issue
win.
for Philly is Tampa Bay's
Tyler Johnson.
defensive weakness is their secondary. Your running backs aren't going to affect your secondary.
No,
So and like the wide receivers at Philly make you want to be sick. Like
if they let Tampa
outside of
Tom
Devontae
dictate
Smith,
it,
outside of Devontae Smith, like Jalen Reagor is just a horrendous bust.
Quez Watkins can go okay.
Also
miss.
pretty close to a horrendous
Dallas
bust.
got it.
Dallas got it okay, but outside of Devontae Smith, like it's an A. There's an A, and then there's C's.
Oh
and
yeah,
nothing.
don't get me wrong.
Like,
I'm not going to die on the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, I'm sure
hill,
no
I'm not.
one's taking their claim on that. It's just
But I think they're a smoky. I think
There's
they're
my, and
worth the
Jalen
smoky.
Hurts is all right. I don't mind Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
He's proved himself. He's got another year.
Way
next
better
year.
than what I thought he was.
He's got another year next year.
yeah, way
Spot
better
on.
than we.
Way better
we
than I gave
predicted.
him
We
credit
thought we
for.
were
And he
gonna
runs and he can run the ball, and that's like
We thought we'd
that's
see Gardner
that's
Minshew.
difficult to guard.
Can I drop something interesting on you, Snars?
Go for it.
Where does this leave Tampa Tom if Philly knock him out in the first round?
Oh, retirement? That'd be great.
Back again?
It'll
Run
be-
it
No,
back?
100% comes back again.
Didn't he already sign a
Back
3-year or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, he'll be back again.
Why?
I lost in the
Why
playoffs.
can't he just leave?
Yeah, no, it's just an interesting kind of
I feel
subplot
like
there.
if Tampa have been bad on defense and the secondary has been banged up, I feel like they can convince him. They've got all the players signed up still.
Yeah.
They're going to have to people get Leonard Fournette.
Well,
He's
they'll
on
have to
like a
lose.
1
Yeah,
year
they'll
deal.
lose Leonard Fournette.
They'll lose a little bit of
You
around
can't-
the
they
edge.
You won't
can't
have
keep them
Goldman
all.
pretty much all season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can still
No
see-
AB.
you can- people will still come on veterans minimums to
Yeah,
try and win
yeah.
a ring.
Yeah.
Like, it's happened before.
Don't get me wrong.
Friggin'
It's
old
a-
mate's there.
it's a bit
Le'Veon Bell's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of tongue in cheek.
Who
but I
can't
think
play
it's-
anymore?
Bernard's there, and we loved him fucking last
Giovanni
year.
Bernard.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
actually like. That's that. Yeah, I don't like.
I
that
just
he's
think
there
it's
at
an
all.
interesting little subplot. Obviously, there's a lot going on in Tampa. Bruce Arians,
It's probably-
Tom,
Bruce Arians
AB.
just seems like a wanker.
Or maybe he's just a bit
Oh,
more
he's
brass
been
than
an
everyone else.
absolute that
He
since
just seems
Arizona.
like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Arizona
He
days.
just really does.
It was funny with the AB. I'm not going to go into it, but the AB story where he suggested he got told to get the F out of here.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like
who-
that's the
like,
only
how do
part
you-
I
who
really
do you
did
believe?
believe.
I honestly
It's like,
don't know who to trust out of
Yeah.
AB and BA.
Any other
I take
head
B.
coach?
I take BA.
I honestly think they're both full of shit.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
other head coach would believe the head coach.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that you'd
BA's
have.
got
I feel
Yeah.
like there's probably parts of truth in both stories.
I think that's probably fair, but you also wouldn't be able to cut AB.
Meet
if
in the
you-
middle at 75-30.
if you weren't confident in your side of the story.
Yeah.
San Francisco at Dallas is one of the most interesting matchups
This
I
would
would
be- yeah.
suggest of
This is
the
The
wild
NFC
card
ones are
round.
so much
Coin
better.
flip.
Yeah.
This is the coin flip.
This is a dead set coin flip. I'm with San Francisco. Who's over there? Schnazi with me, and then
Yeah.
Dallas is
I'll take
Slammer's
Dallas.
pick at
I'm
home.
basically just because it's at home.
Yeah.
I think San Francisco are probably the most informed team in the comp at the minute, maybe besides Kansas City.
Yep.
I don't think there's many teams going better than them at the minute. Maybe
Maybe
Cincinnati
maybe
or one of the other
Cincinnati.
teams.
The issue with San Fran is the same issue that's been with San Fran since they lost the Super Bowl and even heading into that Super Bowl. If they're down late, can they win the game?
With Jimmy G.
Yeah,
And I do not
Is
want to
there-
restart this conversation again because
No.
it did suck a lot of clock. But
However, I think I'll go quickly.
yeah,
But
Dallas
if they're
Dallas's
losing,
I'll go.
Dallas
Dallas's defense is overrated to shit. They're a good defense.
yeah, I'm not hot on
They're
their
overrated.
defense.
And San Francisco's defense is probably underrated still. San
Yeah.
Francisco's defense is phenomenal.
San
But then
Francisco's defense has always
if
been
they get their
phenomenal.
running game going, they win this.
yeah.
If they can't get their running game going and rely
The
on
thing,
Jimmy G,
they
you
can't.
get your tip.
They can't be down early.
The Swiss.
They can't be down 14-0 early. They can't let Dallas score in the opening possession, get blanketed, and then let Dallas go down and
Yeah.
score again. If they're down 14-0, they're not winning this game.
Obviously, run game is massive for them. I think what is more massive is my absolute guy, Mr. Do-It-All, the Swiss Army knife himself, Deebo Samuel, the meatball, the Super Bowl, freak show that he is. Actually, not Super
Well,
Bowl,
Super
as
Bowl
much
freak
as
show.
a
He did nothing
Oh,
against us.
what did I win? Oh, yeah, that's right. The NFL fantasy competition. That one. Yeah, that one. So he was a superstar in that. So big shout out to Debo for
did
that
I
one.
win?
Kansas City Chiefs host Pittsburgh.
Can we skip over this
This
one?
won't take long. Our Chiefs probably handicap I'm going to say in a playoff game, maybe negative 10.5.
It's negative 13 for the line.
Yeah, okay. So I'll take 10.5.
And you know what? I'm going to take
10.5.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh because Kansas City have barely covered the line all year.
No,
that's just a fun fact.
that was the first half of the year. They've covered the line like the last 7 of the
They
last
didn't
8
cover it
games.
on the weekend.
7 of the last 8 games.
Backtrack quickly. Before you know it, 5 of the 7. And then that's only 5 of the 18, 17 games this year.
Well, yeah.
Nah, line
Read that
through
one.
it. Move on.
Line
Pittsburgh,
through that.
see you
It
later.
shouldn't be close. Big Ben, it's the retirement party.
Yeah.
If it's close, Slam is going to be one sweaty man.
I'll be sick.
You heard who the MC of that retirement gig is?
Who?
AB?
Jackson.
Oh, no, fucking turn
He's running.
turn it off.
He's running the AP. He's doing the after party.
I thought AB and Le'Veon were rocking up.
Oh, they're playing DJ set. Arizona at LA is going to round out our first week wild card weekend.
On the Tuesday. First ever playoff game on a Monday
Correct.
over there, Blaze. Very weird.
Marquise.
Don't really understand the decision. Why would you not play 3 games on a Saturday?
Don't mind it. LA Rams going to beat the Cardinals.
You'd be pretty pissed off if you're the Rams or the Cardinals and you win this game. And you
Yeah,
get
short
one,
of break.
you get one
Yeah,
day
100%.
less to prepare than everybody else did. I'd be furious.
Of course. It's 3 rounds for us. Rams have had the Cardinals number of late.
It's not even that. It's the fact that the Cardinals have fallen off the biggest of cliffs.
Week
Ever.
9, they were the best team in football by a
Week
mile.
11, they were still the number 1 seed.
Something to watch here. Cardinals very good away from home all year.
They have been, but also
record.
they were 6-0 or 7-0 away from home, and they've lost the last 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They're just like they've fallen off a cliff. And as we said before, JJ Watt could be back this weekend.
Is it going to be a disappointing year on the whole for them, considering how they started
100%.
if they lose this one?
100%. It's
Wasted?
just back to being the old.
Obviously
Cardinals.
disappointed. Is it wasted?
Nah, Kyler's young.
Cliff
Got
Kingsbury.
more time.
I think
Kyler's young.
Cliff Kingsbury gets himself another year. If it ends up like that again next year, then I reckon he's gone.
Okay.
Because at the start, week 11, they're the 1 seed. They had like a game in hand on everybody.
Looked unstoppable.
No, they would have been like 10-2, and they've ended the season 11-6.
On the contrary, if they finished 11-6 and yo-yoed a little bit at the start,
Yeah.
brilliant year.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, but we're
Fall
talking
on their
about
own
them like the
sword.
Dolphins. Like the Dolphins, you'd be more scared of playing the Dolphins right now than the Cardinals because they've ended the year hot.
Yep.
It's a momentum league, and everyone's just stopped thinking about Arizona because
Pendulum's on the wrong
you
side.
just don't take them the right way.
Well summed up.
Falcons.
Just-
Well summed
yeah.
up. Hey, Tennessee, AFC 1 seed, and obviously Green Bay in the NFC, they are the 1 seeds.
Weeks off.
They'll have the week off. They will play. We'll figure that out next time you come around and watch us. I can't remember.
It'll be
off
the
top of my
lowest
head.
seed.
Lowest seed, yeah. Whoever, depending on, it gets reseeded, doesn't it, after the first week? So
No, like using the current seeds.
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee will play Vegas or
Yeah,
Cincy.
okay.
Green Bay will play Arizona or
No,
LA.
no.
Opposite?
No. Not like whoever is. So like who's the 7 seed? Philly are the 7 seed. If Philly win, they have to play Green Bay. More than likely though, Tampa Bay, Dallas win, so they get the 4 or 5. So
Okay.
Your
if
arrows
se-
on the
if-
board confuse the shit out of me.
Okay, that's just the most likely outcome.
Stay tuned. Come back.
If the 7 seed wins, it has to play the 1
Yeah,
seed.
okay, champion. Come back and see us.
Understand it then.
Come back and see us in a week's time, and you can explain it then. Because this
don't
episode,
need to.
this episode's probably pushing up towards a road
Everybody
trip.
else
quite a
Next
bit.
week we'll all rock up with baseball bats to beat the shit out of each
No,
other.
okay.
too. If you're interested in that, come on.
You will love it. Thank you again for joining us. Shout out to Jersey Cartel and obviously JRB
Get
Electrical.
me out of this Chinese sweatshop.
Over
guys.
on the
It's so
socials,
hot.
as always, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. No, we're not on TikTok anymore. We've dropped off Twitter. I don't know. We might be. We've dropped off Twitter too. Thank you again.
We're on MySpace.
Yeah, we're on MySpace.
Oh.
Tom from MySpace.
Top from MySpace.
He's
Easy
our only
control.
friend.
Everywhere you get your podcast, folks. YouTube,
Oh,
Apple
hurry.
Music, Spotify.
I'm so hot.
Thank you so much for joining us.
He's been Slim, I've been Slam. That's the Bandwagon fan. Good night from the Chinese sweatbox. It is the booth.